Hi, are you considering making your first trip to Malaysia? If so, this video is for you. I recently spent 6 weeks there, and in this episode, I'll give you my honest first impressions, things I loved, and the reasons why I'm already planning my return. Stay tuned, we'll get into it. It's a beautiful country. As my flight started final descent into KLIA, I stared out the window. There's a sea of palm trees and a deep, dark green, lush environment located below. I really wasn't surprised by this. I knew that the airport was located on the outskirts of town. But what was a shocker to me was how green things stayed as I approached city center. It is very apparent that someone has made a concerted effort to maintain a balance with nature. While you can see construction going on all over the place, and Kuala Lumpur is definitely a growing city, and Google estimates that the population will reach over 9 million people by the end of 2025. The fact that they're maintaining so much green in the city, I find to be very impressive. The prices. I had heard from various vloggers that Kuala Lumpur was more expensive than, say, Thailand, Vietnam, or the Philippines. And I found this to be the case. Others stretched the truth and said it's almost as expensive as the United States. I really can't get behind this statement at all. Sure, there's some imported items like this ball cap. I bought this ball cap while I was in the mall. It's a familiar brand from back home. It cost me about $30, which is the same price I'd pay in the US. But there's tons of other things like food and lodging where there really isn't any comparison at all. During my stay in Kuala Lumpur, I stayed in the Intercontinental Hotel. The cash rate at the time was about $100 a night. The same hotel in Chicago was over $250. I found that when you did spend a little money in Kuala Lumpur, the value received was outstanding. Customer service. I received favorable customer service pretty much everywhere I went during my stay in Malaysia. One highlight was when I needed to find a new dentist for while I'm traveling Southeast Asia. I did a little online research and found a dentist office near my hotel. I showed up as a walk-in and really didn't expect much. Back in the States, it's pretty hard to get on the schedule as a new patient at a dentist office. So you can imagine my surprise when I found myself in the dentist seat about 4 hours later. When I inquired to how they were able to pull this off, they just laughed. They were like, we leave open spots in the schedule in case we have a patient with an emergency or someone new like yourself walks in. Anticipating your patient needs? What a novel concept. Then there's the fact that my dentist, her first language isn't even English. And yet somehow, by the end of my first appointment, I felt so comfortable with her and her staff, I went ahead and scheduled some more extensive work that I had been putting off. The customer service I received in Malaysia was top notch. There's no need for a card. If you're staying in the Kuala Lumpur city center area, there's going to be plenty of things to do and places to eat, all within walking distance of your hotel. If you do need to get around, it's going to be a simple grab ride. Most places I went, it only cost me somewhere between $4 and $8. And even when I went down to Malacca using Grab, which is about a 2-hour ride depending on traffic, it only cost me $60. In a future video, I'll go and explore the rail and bus system in Kuala Lumpur. They're more economical. But honestly, as a first time tourist in Malaysia, Grab is really all you need. Food. Malaysia is a wonderfully multicultural place, with Chinese, Malay, and Indian influences all being represented. What does this mean? It means incredible food. Sure, I had Chinese back home, but it wasn't real Chinese. But I showed up with an open mind, and thanks to the help from a local, I got to try all kinds of dishes I never would have tried before, and I enjoyed them all. I had never had Pakistani, Arabic, or Indian foods either. But after showing up with an open mind, I found out that I love them all. Pakistani barbecue? Yes, please. The Arabic with the meat skewers, garlic sauce, and the fresh pita bread? Yeah, I'm down for that. Indian food? I wish somebody had described Indian food to me differently years ago. If you just take the cheese or garlic naan and all the things that you dip it in, it's basically like gravy. As a southerner, I have a deep appreciation for all things gravy. And then there's the Malaysian food. Don't even get me started on the Malaysian food. I don't think I tried anything that I didn't like. And as soon as I see the word sambal in a food description, I'm ready to try it. If you show up to Malaysia with an open mind, you're going to find out that your taste buds will thank you. The food in Malaysia is outstanding. The people. Last, but certainly not least, the people. I started this journey traveling Southeast Asia, hoping to make connections with people that I never would have otherwise. Malaysia delivered this in ways I would have never anticipated. My dentist that I told you about earlier, she gave me a list of places to try in town and she had come up with in between appointments. And you met Shum in an earlier episode. I was down visiting Malacca and I kept running into this gentleman who was on vacation with his mom. That struck a place in me because my sister and I had done the same thing with our parents recently. Eventually, I struck up a conversation with Shum, and man, was that guy passionate about travel. Maybe even more so than myself. He immediately started sharing the places he had been and the things he had seen. And then there was his future itinerary, which we had a lot of common interests as far as places that we wanted to check out before we died. I didn't expect that connection. We ended up making his mom wait for probably 10 minutes. I apologized to Shum's mom. Uh, but eventually, he offered to exchange numbers, and I took the risk. We ended up hanging out a couple times in Kuala Lumpur, and he showed me things that I never would have seen otherwise. It's funny. The last few years before I left the States, I spent a few years out in Wyoming. I love Wyoming. It's a beautiful place. There's the mountains. You can go hiking in the afternoons. But I'm from the South. And out in Wyoming, the people are a little bit different. They're a little more reserved. I would say they're polite, but not as friendly as back home. In Florida, you could run into somebody in the supermarket, and the next thing you know, they're your golf buddy. I really didn't find that happening out in Wyoming. So I was totally shocked to find myself all the way across the world in a culture that I was honestly ignorant about and finding myself making connections with people as easily as I did. The people of Malaysia made a very favorable impression upon me. In short, If you're a Westerner considering making your first trip to Malaysia, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a first time international traveler. Between the amount of English spoken and the friendliness of the Malaysian people, Kuala Lumpur is basically Southeast Asia on training wheels. At least it was for me. If you are an experienced traveler and you've been to Malaysia multiple times, share your experiences down below. I'm curious. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? And if you're a Malaysian viewer, which the analytics say there's quite a few of you out there right now, do me a favor. I'm planning on making at least 4 more trips back to your country. I want to visit Ipoh and Penang, the East Coast, etc. So give me suggestions of places to go and things to eat while I do these other trips. I'd also challenge you to watch my videos while I'm going across Vietnam and Thailand, because it'll give you a chance to get to know me better as a person and where I'm coming from as I give commentary on my experiences in your country. If somehow you're still watching this video, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate your time today. It means a lot. If you haven't already, and you did receive value out of this video, make sure to click like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell down below. And until next time, farewell.